And welcome back, everyone. We have our next group coming up. I am Unstable, joined here by Railkin. We're going to go straight into Group O here. We have, of course, GoSu's T-Gun up against CreatorPrime right now. In Toon Valley will be the map as we get into the underway with this PvZ. Down here at the bottom left, we have T-Gun playing on Glade's account for some reason. Is going to be our Pink Zerg. Of course, he is looking like he has got his pull down first, of course, because of the pesky probe. And then up the top right, we have our red Protoss, which is going to be Creator's Prime. And these two are no strangers to each other, believe it or not. For quite a while, they've had this little rivalry going on. But it usually ends with T-Gun doing some risky, cheesy all-in build. At least once in the series. So let's see if that comes out here today. Of course, standard openings from both of them so far. And it's going to be interesting. Creator's been a really strong Protoss for a long time. Really favoured in the PvZ matchup as well by his team. So what do you think we're going to see today, Railkin?
I haven't seen T-Gun play in ages because I've been disconnected from the C scene for a while. And I never really got very far into it to begin with. So I actually don't know, like, what T-Gun's going to do. It looks like he's going to go for the quick third hatch that every Zerg player in the world is doing right now. Like, in both versus Protoss and versus Terran, it's just they're figuring out how to get that working more often. And Creator isn't even really attempting to block this. He's just sitting back at home, getting his own wall off set up, his own expansion, and when you see a player not even attempt to block it off, it generally means that they're just going to do something rather aggressive. And we'll see what it is he has in store.
Yeah, very true. Alrighty, so we do see 3 hatches down, like you were saying here, from T-Gun. No gas just yet. And let's see what the follow-up is from Creator. 9 times out of 10 in this tournament, we're seeing Stargate plays come out from our Protoss. But it's going to be interesting to see if he does the same thing. Creator's never really been the one to follow the trends. Always does those very unique builds that come out from him, and he always does them very efficiently at the same time. So that will be really good to see. We do see him, of course, chasing away the Zergling here for T-Gun.
I liked the fake Stargate that Choya did into the 8 gate, like where he shows the one Void Ray starts killing overlords. It looks really normal. You start making anti-air, and then he makes 2 more Void Rays and does an 8 gate all in. You're just like, what is this? That was probably one of the more creative responses we've seen. It's pretty much all in, but it's very metagamey, and it caught who was that?
It was JKS.
Players. JKS completely off guard. And I'm curious to see if that's gonna gain some popularity, or if we'll see Choya abusing that some more in the future, because it seemed really good. But Creator still isn't showing what his hand is. It looks like he's gonna just be adding a bunch of gateways in second and be doing safe gateway pressure. Oh no, he's actually gonna be dropping Nexus, and he did drop that a little bit too early. The Overlord did actually see it.
Yeah, well, we do have this skirmish out in the middle of the map now. T-Gun trying to keep his Zerglings alive as best he can. Does lose 1 as he gets this around. But as you were saying, Creator did drop down that third Nexus, playing it very greedy here. That could trigger T-Gun to start putting on a lot of pressure. Of course, he hasn't actually got gas, so he's only just started the gas mining now. So he's not really going to have that option anytime soon. But he does have slow links coming in now. Looking at the units tab here, there's only 2 Stalkers, so this will work out quite well. This is actually bitten Creator in the behind here, because he only made those Zerglings to help deal with the Zealot that was moving across the map. And now it's actually going to force a cancel.
Yeah, he did cancel that rather early.
Oh, he got the probe too.
Oh, the Stalker.
Whoa, 1 Stalker down. The second one is going to go down. This is actually really well done here by T-Gun. More of an opportunity taken here, because he, like I was saying, he made those extra Zerglings to deal with that Zealot that was coming across, and then just followed up with it to go with some scouting. So that really worked out well for him. Looking at the worker count, we're sitting at 45 to 43, and that's really messed with Creator's build here. But we do have a Twilight Council, 3 more gateways, so he's going to transition back into a regular gateway timing. However, it's going to be delayed quite significantly due to the third base. He's going to get Hallucination, as we have T-Gun going for that.
Overlord here, just scouting all this extra tech here as well. But that slow Zergling thing is something we saw Sirius use to pretty good effect as well. Like, make a bunch of slow Zerglings, and you don't expect to see that many Zerglings. You see that they don't have speed, and you just assume that there's not going to be very many of them. And it catches people by surprise, and it's twice that's worked out now. So that's a cool little thing that the Zerg players are starting to do. But T-Gun's in a really good spot now because, yeah, like you said, Creator's delayed quite a bit by that cancel. He's moving into, it looks like normal warp gate stuff, but he's only on 4 warp gates, and it's slow because the Nexus was canceled. And on top of all of that, T-Gun scouted it, so things are looking really good for him right now.
Yeah, he's going to try and drop down another Nexus, and will probably not seen by T-Gun, but he's going to realize what's going on there, especially since if he was paying attention, he would have seen the probe. But now Creator's going to get aggressive a little bit. He's got 4 gateways in total. He's got that +1 finish, +2 finishing up shortly as well with Blink. And T-Gun does have map control at the moment. He's seen that these are hallucinations because he can see there's no damage being done to anything as they fly past. And he's got a Spire going up at the back of his base here. So with these roaches out, he's going to have to just be wary of when Creator comes out. You see Creator taking that 3 extra gateways to completely wall this off. However, it's only got 1 pylon sitting there on it, so that could be vulnerable in a little bit of time. Interesting to note that T-Gun went for that Spire instead of the Infestation Pit, which is not really the standard response to this. So that'll definitely make it interesting. We do see him coming up here with the Zergler. He's going to try and see this third base yet again, but sees it is completely walled off. Nothing he can do about it right now. If he wants to get aggressive, this is not going to work out too well for him because there is quite a few Blink Stalkers, and we do see him coming up to the top of the ramp. There are sentries here, and they've actually caught, 2 roaches in total were getting caught there. Could have been a lot worse for T-Gun if he wanted to, but Creator looks like he's going to come down and try and do something with this. He needs to be careful. There's a lot of Zerglings back up. He doesn't realize that there's this big gap over here at the natural. They could really take advantage of course, if it's not force fielded in time.
He's got a sentry he's been leaving here just for the sake of force fielding that, so I'm pretty sure he's aware of it. He's just going to be bouncing back and forth between these 2 positions, trying to hold off the pressure from T-Gun, but these Mutalisks could actually catch him a little bit off guard. I mean, he has a pretty good unit composition to deal with it. He's got the +2 already with Blink and sentries out on the field.
Yeah.
So if T-Gun is a little bit uncareful with these Mutas, he could take some really heavy damage from the Stalkers, but he might not just be in a position to deal with this. Like, if T-Gun holds these Mutas back and doesn't show them too early, which is what it looks like he might do. Oh my god, T-Gun! Did he see that?
No, he didn't.
Oh. Like, if he shows these Mutas too early, then of course he's going to be able to deal with it. But if these come in complete surprise...
Well, there's so many Stalkers here. If you remember, he does have hallucinations, so we saw that Spire, so he's going to be ready for that. And as we can see, he did just thwart those Mutas coming through instantly. We do see that Creator's seeing that he's taking a 4th base. He's still messing up his units here in the middle. He's got +3 already on the way. And that is going to really hurt T-Gun here. Looking at his upgrades, he doesn't have any upgrades whatsoever, actually. He's only getting that +1 air attack, and that's going to really eat into his ability to be able to defend this attack that's going to be coming out shortly. And going into this Muta Link style does work out quite well, depending on how good the force fields and how many Zealots are actually going to be warped in are. But the problem is, if you don't win that one major engagement, you're severely on the back foot, because you just can't get that really bulk of an army up and running. So +3 is going to finish up. We've got a Warp Prism on the way. Here come the Mutas yet again. They're going to get blinked right on top of, though, with a lot of these Stalkers. There we go. One goes down, and now he's trying to get into the main base. Probe's being pulled at the same time, but he's going to be shut down.
He's not even poking the ramp with the main bulk of his army. Like,
he's completely stuck
doing
now.
it now, but like...
Oh, and he gets in. The force field didn't go down, and he's actually going to get that sentry, get the cannons as well. He does get the force field down in the end. He really... No, that +3 attack has finished here already, but he's losing all his Mutas up in the corner. He was completely caught there. Zergling's running amok down in the natural now, though. He's seen the Warp Prism at the same time. However, he will need to back off with those Roaches and do what he can with the Zerglings already. They're still unupgraded, remember, and they're all trying to attack the one Stalker. That's not all the best idea, but that has triggered Creator to come out in the middle of the map, and this is what I was saying. You can't really lose that amount of army, otherwise the Protoss will just steamroll over you, especially without any fungals to really stop the blink coming through. So it's going to be a really tough time for T-Gun to actually defend against this attack coming forward. There is a Warp Prism here, remember, and an Observer to help with that. We do see him blinking. Oh, the Muta's getting caught again.
These Zerglings are going to have a tough time with absolutely no upgrades to deal with this massive army. Like, even if he was going to skip the armor upgrades and just get the melee upgrades, he'd be in a better position, but completely unupgraded Zerglings just are not a very big force at this point in the game. I'm not sure why he skipped the upgrades completely. This is not something you see
another blink coming forward.
At all. And these upgraded Stalkers are doing a really good job of just ripping through the Mutas, even though they're not the best unit for doing it. 13 damage is nothing to scoff at, and T-Gun's just losing a ton of units on rally points.
Yeah.
Walking right into the army of Creator. He's going for a last-ditch attack into the natural, but there's a bunch of Stalkers here with Blink. He should be able to hold this off with Warpins while he's attacking into the natural. T-Gun's at the same time. This is looking really bad for T-Gun, and I don't think he's going to be able to do anything here.
No, that looks like it is going to go a 1-0 to Creator here. And it really just came down to getting those mutas caught and with no upgrades for T-Gun. He's doing a good job of actually cleaning up a lot of these Stalkers. However, he just cannot defend his main base with the Zealots mixed in there as well. They're at 1-3 for the upgrades. The Zerglings cannot do anything. He's lost his natural hatchery. He's got more Zerglings on the way, and he still has quite a few units up here at the Zerg, but it's just not going to matter as they are being shredded through right now. And Creator's moving up into the natural, into the main here, takes down the Spine Crawler, and that looks like it's going to be it. GG comes out here from T-Gun. So Creator will take game number 1. Of course, this is a best of 3, and it's only the first set here, remember, for this group. So we'll be right back and see if T-Gun can bring it back in this next game. Stay with us.